Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Buffalo Fanatics proudly brings to you. Oh, I don't want to do my wrestling bang, but y'all know what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. If you guys are tuned in for the very first time, this is the Buffalo Fanatics. You are tuned in to the Rico Report. What is going on, everybody, on a Tuesday evening? I hope everybody's good. I hope everybody's bumping. This is a huge week. Let me repeat that shit. This is a huge week for the Buffalo Bills. And if you guys are sitting here confident as ever, kudos to you. If you guys are here nervous, natural. That is natural. If you guys are here scared, you are not part. We can't have you part of this damn fan base. There's no way we should be scared of the Ravens, but we should definitely respect them because this, in my opinion, is a huge, huge game. And this is one of those games that is going to give us the utmost freaking confidence for us to go up against, whether it be the Chiefs or whether it be the Browns, because it's the NFL. You just never know what will happen. But my goodness, this is a huge week and so many things need to happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have quite a show for you today. I've got a couple interesting things happening in this show that I did not disclose publicly, so I just want this thing to go naturally. I think it's going to be a good time, but I've got some people coming to hang out with your boy. But let's talk about some things that the Bills have done. We have signed a kicker. Yes, we've signed a kicker, and it made me once think like, okay, why are we signing a kicker? But this is how forward thinking this team is, because all it takes is for a case to happen, a COVID case to happen to one of our key players, and we are SOL. So why not be ahead of the game and have ourselves prepared? And that we are. We signed a kicker. I can't even remember his name, and how unprofessional of me, because I wasn't really expecting to talk about the kicker. I wanted to talk about the running back, but we did sign a kicker, and that's forward thinking, because if something were to happen to Tyler Bass, Big Daddy Bass, we have someone there to take over. Could you imagine if we did not, put that plan in place? We'd be sitting there scrambling to find out who can kick for us, right? Who are we going to sign real quick, and who are we going to do? All right, you ready, Corey Bjorquez? You're going to be our kicker. Nah, we're not trying to do that. So I'm glad that these guys stepped in and made something happen when it comes to the special teams. But we've got quite a slate of things happening today, folks. I need your thoughts on something, man. So we already have the not so great news that running back Zach Moss will be out for the playoffs. He is out indefinitely. So that leaves us to one running back. That is Devin Singletary. We like Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary showed us so much last year. He was so clutch. At one point becoming one of our best players, if not the best offensive player, aside from Josh Allen on the Bills team last year, late in the season, especially in the playoffs, right? He was excellent against the Texans. Clutch, if you will. This year was a different ball game. A tale of two, or was it a story of two tales? I can't remember exactly what that saying is, but different ball game, different story, right? We're thinking, all right, he was sharing time with the old vet, Frank Gore. Frank Gore was taking a lot of his carries. I mean, he's there to shine. We were praising Bean for finding a running back in the third round that could, take the load and so on and so forth. Pause. And this year, we think, okay, we brought in a younger Frank Gore, if you will, and it just hasn't panned out. Just has not panned out. Now, did it not pan out because of the inability to run, or is it the emergence of our passing game? So we put less importance in the run game. That is something very something that we can't dismiss, because this run game has been quite this run game has been quite underwhelming this year, but not because we're terrible and we don't have the run game personnel and we don't have the good guys. We do. It's just that we've been lighting up the skies. We have the number 2 scoring offense. We have a number 1 receiver, reception and in yards. I mean, shoot, we haven't had that in such a long time. So it's just refreshing to have something of that nature on this team. So when you can light the skies up, dot these guys up with Cole Beasley and Gabe Davis coming along, and you have an alpha receiver in Stephon Diggs, my goodness, people, like sometimes I got to bring this down to it. Sometimes that's if it ain't broke, you ain't got to fix it. And that's the way I look at it. But something that is a little broke is our run game. And I will say it because even when we want to run the game or we want to take over and establish a run game, we can't. The real question is why can't that happen? And I've got a few people today that will help me in discovering why we can't establish a damn strong run game. We've had 2 games this year, maybe 3, but 2 games in particular that our run game was like, okay, I think we got it. The Patriots game, when we ran for 200 plus yards, 250 plus yards, we're like, okay, we may have something here. And then the game against the Rams, maybe the Raiders a little bit. That's why that 3rd game. But that's it. Like when I look at these spreads, these Vegas spreads, Devin Singletary runs for 35 yards under or over. Come on, 35 yards. That boy he's got to be in that 70 range. We need him in that 70 to 80 range, but we're just not there. We're just not there. That's one part we want to speak on today. By the way, shout out to everybody in here. There's 332 members watching today. Salute to everybody watching. While you're in here, do me a favor. Just do me a favor real quick. Pause everything you're doing right now. Switch out of the screen, smash that like button real quick, and come back. There's 255 people watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and 91 on Facebook. Salute to my Facebook crew. Was good. All right, so here's the deal. Devontae Freeman. How y'all feel about that? And news is when we sign these guys for playoffs, they don't have to delay. We can actually bring them on to play right away if we want to. So do we and here's the question. Do we bypass a TJ Yeldon, bypass an Antonio Williams to bring in a Devontae Freeman? I'm going to keep it a buck here. Tale of 2 stories. Thank you, Ishmael. Tale of 2 stories. What did I say? I said tale of 2, and I just kind of gave up on that. Tale of 2 stories. Sure, if that's what it is. But Devontae Freeman, though, are we really jumping on this Devontae Freeman? I mean, he is not the same running back he was when he was in Atlanta, when he got paid in Atlanta. He's not the same. Even when he went to the Giants, you're like, oh, nah, fam, that's not the same guy. So I need answers, folks. I need answers. And sometimes you have to have people that are in the know that can help you with these questions. And I can see my guy laughing in the background because he sees that smooth segue. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I need help with this. And I think this next individual is going to be able to help me out very much so. So I'm not going to waste any more time. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my guy, Matt Parrino. Matt Parrino, what's happening, boy?
What is up, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing
the camera here. Oh no, I'm good. Okay. You had the banner going there.
Listen, man, let me get it right.
Okay,
let me get it right. Matt Parrino, how are you today, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. I need answers, man. I need answers. I'm trying to figure things out, and I'm hoping that you and I can put our brains together and try to figure things out. So here's the deal. The run game is what we're talking about right now. We've got Zach Moss out, unfortunately, with a bad ankle injury. He's probably out for the playoffs, most likely.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We've got Devin Singletary that's now elevated to RB1. Question mark is RB2. Or do we even bring in RB3? Tywan Jones is a special teamer. I cannot see them saying, you know what, we're going to prop you into RB3. What are your thoughts on this run game, man? Who are we bringing up, and how are we going to go about this?
I think first and foremost, and I apologize, I just finished Taco Tuesday. We got after it. I pounded 3 tacos in 10 minutes and ran down to the studio. I'm like, damn, let's go. But no, I think where it starts is Devin Singletary. I think that they're going to lean on him a little bit. You got to remember, man, like they're not running the ball. I mean, last week they ran it 21 times. 11 of those were Josh Allen. And so they were splitting 10 carries between two guys. I mean, they're just not going to be a running team. I think that first and foremost, I think people are overreacting to this. I think a little bit you could kind of plug in whoever you want there in running back too, and it's fine because they're not going to get a lot of run anyway. Zach Moss wasn't getting a ton of run. I think that Devin Singletary, I think one of the things that this might do that potentially I see supercharging the run game a little bit or injecting some energy into it is that I think Singletary hasn't been the same guy this year because they took away the workload a little bit. I mean, and rightfully so. You draft a guy in the third round, you're going to split those carries to a degree. But I think that like if he's going to get more of the lion's share of carries and maybe he can kind of get into a rhythm a little bit more in games, I don't think that would be a bad thing. You look from there, and let's start with the immediacy of the Ravens game, right?
Sure.
What makes the most sense? I think TJ Yeldon does. I know a lot of fans don't want to hear that because you saw what Antonio Williams could do, and I'm a big Antonio Williams fan. I love the story. Like the dude was literally cut and went back to North Carolina to be their running backs coach, and they called him up, and he's been back and forth in the practice squad. It's a cool story, and he looked great. He looked great. So like I like that idea, but I think TJ Yeldon he's got more mileage in this league. He's been in the playoffs before. He's played in the playoffs before. So I just think it makes more sense, especially considering that I don't think the role is going to be huge. But I'm not ready to rule out the fact that, hey, Devonta Freeman's also a super vet in this league too. I mean, he's been at it 7-8 years. I wouldn't put it past them to be able to say, hey, these are the 5 or 6 situations that we're going to want, to use you in terms of carries or plays or whatever the case may be, and go with him. They obviously like him enough to bring him into the fold. I think it's probably more for after this week, potentially.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it matters, Rico.
So when I'm looking at this run game, and you're right, we're just not that team this year. And you mentioned something about, well, maybe this is the time that Devin Singletary takes over, and he's the bell cow guy. But that he had the same type of role last year with Frank Gore, and he excelled well. So I'm not saying I'm not buying it, but I'm wondering like where's his head at? Is he that and not like enamored with? I mean, I won't say enamored, but is he that bothered by splitting time? Does he just need more time? He doesn't want to be that guy that says, guys, coach, I need more time. And then you bring in a Devonta Freeman now. Now you're like, man, the time that I was going to be the guy, now they're bringing another guy, and I'm now trying to put my head in McDermott's head and Bean's head and find out like who are they putting as RB2? Yeldon? Is it gonna, or do they bring both guys up? And if they do bring both guys, and this is where I'm going to put you in a tough spot because this is what I've been mulling the last couple of days. Do you bring 2 of these running backs up in Yeldon and Antonio Williams? We'll just say that, but then you got to deactivate someone. Where if you had to, where would you deactivate to bring those 2 running backs up just to kind of offset the loss of Zach Moss?
So one of the issues that we're running into today, that is something that we're going to have to track this week, and is Daryl Johnson's injured, and he plays a big special teams role. So that would be the deactivation if this injury is serious in any way, and he's not able to practice this week. That would kind of make sense. I'm not familiar enough with Antonio Williams to know what his special teams acumen is. I'm sure he's been selling out on special teams the last couple months in practice because that's the way that he can kind of add value. And this year's been weird. Like we're able to watch practice, but we're not able to watch a ton of practice. We do see some of the special team stuff. We can't really report on who's playing where, or what kind of those rules. And so, but also what's tough is that now that in COVID, they can bring the team inside. And when they do that, and that's a normal thing. They did that last year a ton. But because of COVID and the elevated protocols, we're not able to go in there. So we didn't see practice today. So I don't know who's practicing, and I don't know what kind of they're doing. I really can't give you an idea of, on the ground floor, what's happening. But I think that I would say that probably not, because 2 running backs, because you think like that with just the usage of Zach Moss, just say that in and of itself, I don't think that would necessarily require 2 players. You know what I mean? I think any one of those guys can kind of cut it.
Say no more. We're going to switch gears now, Mr. Parrino. This Ravens defense that's coming to Buffalo. They're tough. They're gritty. They can be intimidating. But they haven't faced this new offensive firepower in Buffalo. So put yourself in defensive coordinator Buffalo, the Ravens defensive coordinator. I think it's Marty
Wink Martindale.
Wink Martindale, excuse me. And you put yourself in his shoes. How would you build your defense to stop this offense? Where are you attacking us to slow us down?
Yeah, so I think it's going to be tricky. I mean, because if they employ the game plan that they had last year, I think Josh is going to torch that, because he's shown this year that when teams have blitzed him, he's been just as deadly, if not more. Than when they just.
Can I give you a stat? Because you just said
give it to me.
blitzing. I'm going to give you the stat right now. Josh Allen is number one when it comes to being blitzed by opponents. And let me tell you something. I'm going to give you the stat right now. My man, the Buffalo Fanatics put it up there. So Josh Allen versus the blitz, he's got 19 touchdowns. That's first place. And he's got 1,800 yards, 1,850 yards, first place. So if they blitz, it's problems. Proceed, sir. I had to give you the stats, so you had it.
I like that. The one thing I will say is their secondary, Baltimore secondary, is stacked at the cornerback position. On the outside, they have Jimmy Smith, who's back pretty healthy. He was a little bit banged up going into last week, but he had a hell of a game. Marcus Peters on the other side, who I think, depending on who Marcus Peters goes up against, he's a risk-reward type player. He takes some chances. There could be some opportunities there. But then in the slot, I think that is the matchup to watch. Is how close to 100% is Cole Beasley going to be? He's going up against Marlon Humphreys, who at times last week got torched by AJ.
He did not have a good game last week.
Right. And AJ Brown wasn't close to 100%. He couldn't play 100% of the snaps. So I think if Cole Beasley can be himself, or however they want to do it, maybe Marlon Humphreys lines up on Stephon Diggs at times. We'll see, depending on where he lines up. I like all those matchups, but I think that the key to it is, Josh said it today in his interview, we have to make sure that we have the right protection plan in place, and then they execute it. If Josh Allen is under siege and he's got to, evade the pocket, and there's secondary pressure, and because that's one of the things with a veteran play caller like Wink Martindale, that would concern me is, like, it's maybe not even the initial rush, because they know that Josh can move inside and out of the pocket, get outside. Yeah. It's what kind of secondary rushers they're going to bring on the outside. I mean, they got super fast blitzers. Matthew Judon can kind of play that hybrid role. Yep. And like, he's somebody that I watch as, okay, like, how is he going to attack Josh? Is he going to be a guy that comes straight off the edge every time? Is he going to come up on delayed blitzes? Is he going to try to spy? Like, how are they going to do? There's so many possibilities. You could see the stress on Brian Dable's face when he was just talking about getting prepared and ready for this game, because like you said, like, this is a great defense with a lot of great players, but also a great plan usually.
And they're on fire. The Ravens are surging. So are the Bills. So this is a matchup.
All right, let me dial that back a little bit. I got a bone to pick there, because I've just been seeing this out there on social media.
Good.
They're hot. Don't get me wrong. They're playing great ball. They shut down Tennessee. That was a signature win last week.
Yep.
Those 5 games in the regular season, they didn't play anybody. I mean, they played.
Keep that energy. Wait, keep that energy, because I was about to get there, but you just added to it. So I asked earlier in the stream, are we confident? Are we scared? Or are we to dial back and just take this on? Day by day until we reach this game. So what does a win against these Ravens do to this Bills team going to next week, whether they play the Browns or the Chiefs?
I mean, it'll be a huge confidence builder, because I think that the narrative is shifted a little bit. Like, I think before this, had it been the Steelers in round 2, the Bills would have been a by far and away
big favorite.
Favorite.
Yeah.
I saw a stat that ESPN Stat Index put out that they were predicting percentage wise, like the AFC and NFC title game.
Right.
And there's a 42% chance that it's Chiefs versus Ravens, and only a 39% chance that it's Bills versus Chiefs, which is like crazy, because this is a 2 seed versus the 5 seed. And I get it. Like, there's respect to be had for everything that Baltimore does. Most notably Lamar Jackson, who I think really, proved a lot of critics, including me, wrong last week with the way that he played. Now, I will add, though, and this is the important part of it, They scored 20 points. Tennessee's offense didn't show up. They shut down Derrick Henry. When you shut down Derrick Henry, as we've learned, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And Ryan Tannehill is not that guy that's going to put the team on the back. When they played last year, I'm pretty sure Ryan Tannehill was like 7 for 14 for 88 yards.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great. No.
So this game, are you going to be able to hold Josh Allen on this Bills offense to under 20? They're playing great football. They have a great defense. Wink Martindale is a legend. I just don't see it. They're not holding them under 20 points. I just don't see it at home with fans, with all the kind of things they're able to do with all their playmakers available. I also think Isaiah McKenzie was, Dable talked about this too and said that, just game plan specific, they didn't get him involved. I think that maybe that was a mistake. Even in the, the Jets sweep kind of game, you're going to see, I think, Isaiah McKenzie out there a lot more this week.
See, and I was questioning, where's my guy McKenzie? Like, where's he at? But I don't mind that they didn't have as much out there because there's less film for them to see McKenzie on. And not that they can't, but like the most recent game they're going to look at, where was McKenzie? So McKenzie's going to play a lot of, Lamar Jackson. He's going to play a lot of Lamar Jackson in practice so they can try to figure things out. And on top of that, we didn't give them that element of that jet sweep. So they're going to have to respect that. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I'll tell you that much. If you're picking one of the phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams, this upcoming game, which phase is the one that you're expecting to really propel us to get this win?
Well, I think offense, just because I think that it's going to come down to Josh Allen and his ability with I don't want to say like the defense has been playing really well. And I thought that really live, I thought that they played a lot worse than they actually did. Like it was really, 2 drives where I feel like the Colts had a good game watching it back again. The Bills did a good job at limiting them. They still held them to 24 points. And I think in the playoffs, that's strong. But I think that, one of the things I'm looking at in this game, and I don't know if it's necessarily the most important thing, but where were the Bills so great this year? It was, setting up their offense for success, whether it was takeaways, whether it was special teams. Like Heath Farwell's got to get in his bag and respond in a big way. He just got like knocked down. It was a big overhand right from the Indianapolis Colts, who are really good on special teams. 100%. You got to respond this week and figure out a way to get the ball in Andre Roberts' hands. And if not get the ball in Andre Roberts' hands, make sure you're starting at the 25 every time you get a kickoff, because you kind of get that, no matter what. I think that was a big part in why like the momentum of that game really favored the Colts early on in that game last week.
It did. By the way, shout out to each and every one of you guys tuned in. This is the Rico Report, joined by my guy, Matt Parrino. You guys are watching it on the Buffalo Fanatics. We've got 600 people watching, and I certainly know it's not for me. That's for my guy, Mr. Parrino. You're not showing the locks today.
Oh, that's for you, bro. That's all for bing, baby. Like, listen, we all know where the show's at, man.
We know the deal. So,
guy, man.
I got to ask you this though. So, this Lamar Jackson character, right? And we all know. I mean, everybody knows it around the league. He's not going to light you up with his arm because he's so deadly with his legs. What are we going to do to stop this? I only stop her. You can't really stop Lamar. Contain and slow him down. Where do you think we attack this Ravens offense to slow this guy down? Because the Titans defense is not a slouch defense. That's a good defense.
Right.
But and he gave them fits on the ground and ultimately brought them back into the game down 10-0 and eventually taking the game. So where do we come in where we got to stop this dude, man? We've done it before, but we lost on that big long pass. I think it was Andrews. I can't remember exactly what it is, but what are we doing this year?
Yeah, I like the Bills matchup against Lamar because they have speed and athleticism at the linebacker position. And I know that there's a little bit of frustration with Tremaine Edmonds last week. I didn't think he played like a great game by any stretch of the imagination, but like everything coming out of, and like, I think sometimes like we as like amateur, football watchers, I guess I would call myself.
Right.
Like I've never spent any time in a pro or college NFL locker room. You know what I mean? So it's we're watching the game in a different light, and watching it live, you see maybe him miss a couple tackles and maybe you overreact to that. And I will say, when I went back and watched the game, he did have a couple impact plays in the first half, and they held him to 10 points through 3 quarters. And I think that's a big deal. But one of the good things that the Bills have is they have speed, athleticism, and the second half of the season, they really ratcheted up their their consistency in terms of tackling, which is so important, like getting to the ball and kind of group tackling and like being communication is key this week. But here's where Lamar Jackson is beatable. He fumbled the ball, and no doubt about it, he runs the ball so much he's going to fumble it. He fumbled it 10 times though this year, and while the Ravens force a lot of fumbles, they fumble the ball away a lot, and that's going to be the key that this game comes down to. I think is if the Ravens are able to limit Josh in any way like they did last year, then it's going to come down to a really scratch and claw. Whoever makes the first mistake or the most mistakes is going to lose. And you have to take care of the ball, and you have to be like I'm looking at Jordan Poyer, I'm looking at Matt Milano, even Tre'Davious White and Levi Wallace. You got to figure out a way to pop that ball out, because if you can get that ball back for this offense, it's going to change and you got to also get off to a fast start. Like that's something that didn't happen last week, and I think you completely flip the script on Lamar if you force him to have to maybe put aside some of that running if they're down 2 scores early. Now, I know that last week they went down 10-0 and they were able to kind of sustain, but you go down 14-0 with the way the Bills have gotten up on a couple teams this year, it completely changes the dynamic of the game, and you kind of panic a little bit. I think just naturally you panic a little bit. Okay, damn, we're down 14-0. We're not really a passing offense. Like we got to get things going, and maybe you push, and maybe you try to do things that maybe aren't in your, character. So I think that's the key, getting off to a fast start and maybe, forcing them to turn the ball over.
So, and last question before you get out of here, because we got time constraints here. Who's got the most pressure on them right now? Leslie Frazier and that defensive crew, or Brian Dable?
Oh, that's a good question.
And I asked that question because I'm like, if I'm either coordinator, I'm like, yo, like I've got to stop Lamar Jackson and game plan for him and take away Andrews, because that's his favorite target. But then on the offensive side of the ball, I got to put points on the damn board, and I got to draw up plays. I got to come with my best stuff. So who's the pressure on? And both coordinators have been, the phone's ringing for them to be head coach candidates. So it's almost as if it's like I don't want to call it an audition per se, but people are watching. So who's the pressure?
I think probably Brian more, just because the identity of this team this year has shifted to where it's all about the offense and it's all about Josh Allen. And in your biggest games, you need your biggest players to play their best and to carry the day. I mean, Josh Allen, that's been the story all year. I think the Bills put out a stat, like during the regular season, he was responsible for 82% of the Bills' offense this season. I mean, that's insane. That's a huge, percentage of what's happening. And so I think from that perspective, it's on Dable to make sure that, you're putting all these guys in the right position to make plays. And whether it be maybe on the heels of Isaiah McKenzie's big game against the Dolphins. I know Cole Beasley was back last week, but if they lose that game last week and you don't use McKenzie at all, you kind of or maybe some of those other plays don't go right. You kind of start second guessing him, right or wrong. I mean, I'm a big Dable supporter going all the way back to when we talked last year. But the pressure's on now, because in a lot of ways, these are job interviews for him. And, how do you handle great defensive mind versus great offensive mind? What do you do to score points? And if they come out here and score 17 points in a loss, it's not going to be a good look for him.
Not going to be a good look. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Parrino on the button with every question that shot his way. And you're a seasoned vet. Listen, man, you know I'm a big fan. So keep grinding, keep doing your thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my guy, Matt Parrino. We've got a slate of guests coming up. So, sir, enjoy the rest of the week. Give me I'm not going to do that to you. I was going to say give me a score prediction. But
I got it already. I've already been asked for it. I've already been asked for it. Before I get out of here, though, I'll give you the score prediction. Quick shout a Buffalo Bills football podcast. Please, we have a new YouTube page. Search Buffalo Bills on NY Up. We're shifting things over. We're going all Bills all the time. A little convoluted branding. So make sure you find that. We'll have all of our shows and more details there. 28-24 Buffalo Bills. I do not think they can keep them under 20, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. Maybe a late score for the Baltimore Ravens to get it close. But I like the Bills in this game.
28-24. My guy Matt Parrino. Listen, have yourself a great night. I hope those tacos sit well with you. And
feeling good.
We'll talk later, my man. That's my guy Matt Parrino. Ladies and gentlemen, 28-24. How you like that? He's confident. I'm confident in this team. Do I have my reservations? Of course, as you should. But it happens. It happens. But now we're gonna turn it up a little more. Next guest that I have is very like-minded. Him and I see things similarly. We chat the same, and we love this team. And without further ado, let me bring my guy on, Mister.
What is up, my guy?
You didn't want to give me the
Yo ho ho da mafia. Oh well, I mean, since I'm on the show, I feel like that you guys did deserve that. But yo ho ho, Buffalo Fanatics.
That's what's
what
up,
is
man.
going on?
What's happening, man? You good?
Yo, Rico, no lie, I am still on cloud 9 from this past Saturday.
Talk to me.
Still on cloud 9. Now, while that game gave me more heart palpitations than I think I've experienced in my entire life, I was an exceptionally happy camper once I ended up seeing the final couple of seconds of that game. Now, don't get me wrong, my butthole has been as tight as Saturday afternoon when I saw that Hail Mary attempt from Phillip Rivers. I was just like, Jesus Christ, not again. But luckily, so Mr. Micah Hyde and our secondary stepped up, and here we are, and we're on to the divisional round, and I could not be happier. But I am a little nervous about this game on Saturday, man. I'm not going to lie to you. This is the last team I wanted to play.
Listen, I'm with you, and it's funny because you've been. I mean, a whole lot of people have been saying it, but like I've seen you coin the run the damn ball.
Yes.
I was ready to make a shirt saying bat that shit down.
Yo, listen, that would be a hot seller. In fact, I feel like
you, man, bat that shit down, because I will tell you right now, man. You said your butt was clenched up, boy. I was holding on to the old chest, saying, "Hey, man, we cannot have anything go wrong here." The refs already tried to give the game and give them a chance to come into this, while we clearly ripped that damn fumble out. They tried to put us. They I swear, sometimes it makes you wonder if these refs were like are in on this and trying to make this a little more exciting for the bettors. And bullshit, I'm not trying to cut the bullshit. You strip that football, knees off the ground, game should be over, and we're talking about how Jordan Poyer saved the day with that rip, right?
And now, so that was clear as day that was a fumble. But luckily, in seasons past in Buffalo Bills football, then that very moment would have just been the beginning of a spiral down the drain type moment where the Colts would have came back and won that game. But luckily, good teams win close games, and our defense was able to step up when we needed them to most.
You're damn right. I'm fine with it too. So you mentioned that you're nervous. You feel a little nervous about this Ravens game. What is it that makes you nervous about them?
So to be honest with you, Rico, here's the deal, right? Just looking at the fact that they have been on a hot streak, and I continue to tell myself, and I always try to say, look, when I look at our 2019 matchup, while we did end up ultimately losing that game, I always try to remind myself that we held Lamar Jackson to his worst game of the entire season in 2019.
We absolutely did.
We did. But then here's the deal. Our 2019 defense statistically has been a lot better than our 2020 defense moving forward. Mm-hmm. So now, once you look at this Buffalo Bills team, which has taken a complete 360 of what our entire identity is, us being an offensive first team, looking back at 2019 when the Ravens simultaneously held Josh Allen to his worst game in 2019. Now I'm looking at this fact by itself. Can we repeat the exact same game plan that we did while at the same time not having the same type of defensive production that we had in 2019, and hope that we can get a similar result, but at the same time end up making sure that the Buffalo Bills are the team that is going to come out on top? And dude, honestly, you are not going to see a single video from my YouTube channel for the rest of the postseason say that we continue moving forward, saying that we are going to murder, annihilate.
Yo, you should.
It's not happening for it's not happening for the rest of the season, because I am just mentally preparing myself that all of these games are about to be absolute like anxiety filled nail biters.
I hear you. I gotta hit my guy up, Jeff King. Jeff King, salute to my guy Jeff King. Jeff King goes, Lamar right now is more devastating in either running and so in passing. So stop him running and force him to throw. He knows he's not playing the same team as last year. That is a damn fact. Now, you mentioned last year's defense and this year's defense. And in my opinion, I feel like this year's defense is better than last year's defense. We've got better linemen. We've got the same, if not better production, I guess, from our DBs with the addition of Dane Jackson, with Teron Johnson actually staying healthy this year. And we've got Josh Norman as depth, and we still have Levi Wallace. And then we've got our safety tandem in the backfield, and a healthy Milano and Edmonds. So I think that we will present more difficulties for Lamar Jackson. And the one thing that stands out to me, though, is stopping Andrews. Andrews is a problem. And I'll tell you, and the thing is, Jack Doyle had 7 receptions for 70 yards last week. Jack freaking Doyle. So Andrews is a different beast. That boy is Lamar Jackson's favorite weapon. How do we bottle that dude up and not have him just kill us down the middle?
And so at this point, Rico, I mean, we just need to understand that there's a couple of things that we need to pick our poison, right? Because this entire year, there's a couple of things that have been killing us defensively. Number one is stopping the run. We have had a terrible time stopping the run in general. And tight ends have been absolutely sodomizing us this entire damn year. Like, there's nothing we can do, whether or not that it's Gesicki, whether or not that it's Travis Kelce, whether or not that it's Jack Doyle, right? So I think at the end of the day, I think we're not focusing on the right question, because the way that I look at our defense this year, I feel like now our defense has turned into a bend but not break. But at the same time, we just so happen to have stepped up in the game of being able to take the ball away.
Okay.
I feel like at the end of the day, what we need to be focusing on is when can we find an opportunity to make that key turnover and give us favorable field position moving forward.
Absolutely.
Really, at the end of the day, man, this game is going to be determined by what every single game has been determined by, and that is Josh Allen and this receiving core. Whether or not that we can go on ahead and take advantage of that secondary. And funny stuff, because this is funny, because I saw this come from the Buffalo Fanatics Instagram page today, which was something I saw, which made me feel better. Listen, I am always going out there and trying to find things that help me sleep a little better at night.
Absolutely.
Because like these like big games, like they stress me out. Absolutely. And the fact that we're going up against a defense that blitzes on what, like 75 to 80% of their damn snaps. Yep. But then you guys throw out a stat showing me that Josh Allen is the best in the entire league for statistics when it comes to being blitzed.
You know it. He's got 1,800 yards, 19 touchdowns against the blitz. Number one in both categories. So that is on our end. Before we continue, I got to give a shout out to my guy, Michael Lanzone. Michael Lanzone, welcome to the mother effing Bing Squad, my G.
Bing,
Bing, biggity, bing. That's my guy. I got to talk to my guy, John DeMarchi. He says, Bills, Hail Murray. And Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, Micah Hyde. I mean, we're going to need Micah Hyde. We're going to need every one of those guys to step their game up. I got to apologize to the chat. The last couple days, StreamYard has kind of been up and down with lagging and not getting the super chats in and certain things lagging. So once they come in, I'm going to jump on there and read your comments. I got my guy Timothy Lewis saying, could we see Darren Lee on a spy? That's if we activate Darren Lee for him to jump in there. But I mean, our main guys are Milano and Edmonds. And then we play primarily nickel. So Teron Johnson is going to be on the field a lot. But you never know. They might switch things up. But I don't see why they would. You put your best players on the field, and those are your 2 best linebackers. John DeMarchi comes up again. Says, Pat's 31 of the 42 playoff games in Brady era. 20 of those were 42 games. 20 of those 42 games, 1-score games. Oh, and I hate the Cheatriots. Playoffs, get your defibrillators ready. It's going to be a tough one, man. It is, and it's not a joke, man. These Ravens right now, in my opinion, I want your thoughts on this. You know when you put so much energy into something, and you focus on it and you do everything you can and you put all your energy into it. I feel that this could be the Titans game that just happened. They put so much energy in that Titans game that I'm hoping that they've lost all that energy. And when they come in to the Bills, they come in flat to the Bills. That's what I'm hoping for. Do you think there's any chance that could happen, or these guys are fired up and ready to make this happen? What are your thoughts?
And so, to be honest with you, man, I think that the Ravens, just like the Buffalo Bills, have been preparing for this game as hard as the Buffalo Bills have been, dude. I mean, I do not see either team coming out flat whatsoever. I think both of the coaching staffs are ready to go and trying to exploit as many weaknesses as possible. The only difference is the fact that I think the Buffalo Bills have better personnel, especially on the offensive side of things, than the Baltimore Ravens do. Hence why I think the Bills will ultimately end up coming out on top. But we're not going to see a flat game, man. And so we're not like whatsoever. The only thing we can hope, right, is the fact that the Baltimore Ravens don't change a single thing about their defensive game plan, and they continue to just blitz, send the house on Josh Allen as often as possible, and then just allow those two cornerbacks to play one-on-one against Stephon Diggs and John Brown. Because while they may win some matchups, they are not going to win all of them. I guarantee you that.
I'm in agreement with you. I'm in definite agree with you. Got game, says Rico and Dan. Our Bills had played against the Steelers, Miami, the number one defense, Denver, and last week against the Colts that had a tough defense. If Bills score TDs and have 2 or higher lead, we will be good. Here's the deal with that. I'm not disagreeing with it whatsoever, right? I'm going to jump in with my guy, Ryan Teal. Ryan Teal says, yo, the 735 people smashed that like. Actually, there's 816 people with Facebook included. So salute to the whole squad. Now, when it comes to that, the defenses that we played and where we stand right now, to me, at the end of the day, what it's going to come down to is forcing Lamar into uncomfortable positions. Yeah. Take away that number one read, which is Andrews. Typically, we've got locked down Hollywood Brown with you know what I mean, if we have to bracket him with our safeties, but Trey White can have that. Now you've got that. We've got to stop that run. The run is what we've got to stop, because they're going to Roman. We know Roman. Roman will do a lot of like motioning and bring this guy over here, and there's several motions that are happening, and it's slid to confuse you. And J.K. Dobbins is running like a damn monster, and then you got Gus freaking Edwards. We're gonna have our hands full, so we just gotta have our gap integrity and stop that run. That run is what they're going to kill us with first. So if we stop the run like they did against Henry, then we got to force my man to throw. How do we do that? Put points on the damn board. We have got to just go at them. Dable needs to bring his A game. What you got?
110%. Now this might be an unpopular take, right?
Go ahead.
A lot of people did not like our defensive strategy against the Kansas City Chiefs this year, when we were so obsessed with stopping the pass game from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
What I think we need to do is we need to be obsessed with stopping the run, because when you look at a strategy, when we put that against the Titans, right, and we essentially invited Tannehill to beat us with his arm, I do not think that Lamar Jackson can beat us with his arm. The only thing that he can do is beat us up the middle, and as long as we go on ahead and get that gap integrity right up the middle and let our safeties be known, he's not a very good quarterback when it comes to throwing on the outside. If we obsess with stopping the run like we did against the Tennessee Titans, the Baltimore Ravens do not have a quarterback that can beat us with his arm alone. And as long as we put in an obsessive defensive strategy of stopping the run, I have a feeling that the Buffalo Bills are going to see a lot of success. Now, I have been doing my research. I've been listening to various podcasts, watching various videos. And I mean, dude, don't blitz them legitimately. Fuck. If you have to, drop our defensive line into coverage. Go on ahead and act like you're going to rush past the line of scrimmage. Fucking don't. Keep him in front of you the entire time. Listen, that is going to be the game plan moving forward, because in my opinion, you have to take away what they do best, and that is run the ball. And fortunately for the Buffalo Bills, while Lamar can, I guess, supposedly make some plays with his arm, it's not going to be nearly as often as what Ryan Tannehill was able to do to us during this regular season. We need to be obsessed with putting as many people into coverage as possible and keeping the run in front of us. And I think it's going to be a long game for Baltimore as long as we put in that type of strategy.
I like that. I like where you're coming with this, right? My man, your boy Lettuce. What's going on, the boy? He says, hey, Rico and Dan, I think the Ravens blitz-centric defense works in our favor. You don't shake Allen. He will make the first guy miss more often than not, and they cannot cover Diggs. Now, here's the thing. Before we get out of here, because we're on that time thing. When it comes to Stephon Diggs,
oh, beautiful.
That boy is special. And I don't give a fuck what anybody tells me, man. These two have been clicking all year long, and nobody's been really able to lock his ass down because it's by choice. We'll give Beasley his game, and then we'll give him the day off a little bit. But this game, Diggs is going off. Diggs is going off, and we've got to go off early. Cole Beasley, Gabe Davis, every one of those guys. Now, before we get out of here, I need your Manscaped game balls of the game from last game against the Colts. Who are your Manscaped game balls of the game?
Game balls of the game. How appropriate.
How appropriate is that? The Manscaped game balls of the game. Who you got?
Especially seeing the sponsor. Well, first off, I'm going to have to give it to our savior, Josh Allen.
That's right.
Guy, doing his thing. He legitimately put the team on his damn back. And then I'm also going to have to give it to Stephon Diggs, who has been a complete X factor for us this entire year. Once he's on the field, there's always a chance that we are going to win. That's the reason we won this game was our offense. Our defense made some nice plays when we needed them to, but let's make no mistake, the game balls went to Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, and I would say that the game balls should have been given to them, I would say, about 60 to 70% of the games we have played all year.
All right, so you got I need three. You gave Josh Allen, you got Stephon Diggs, I need one more.
Tyler Bass, dude. Bass-O-Matic.
Oh, Big Daddy Bass. Okay.
Bass-O-Matic, man. Listen, I gave him a lot of shit at the beginning of the year. His nickname was Tyler Ass for a long time. But you know what? That nickname has gone out the damn window.
Out the window.
He's done his thing. He broke the record for all-time points in a damn season. Love the guy. And if not for him, then we might be having an entire different conversation for this game.
Dude, he's been on the money. He hasn't missed a kick since week 6?
Yeah, I'd say so. Now, I'm not saying that I want the game to be determined by him on Saturday.
Right. Absolutely.
Much rather that not happen.
I agree.
But I do have confidence in him. I
got my guy Ismael Monero says, my two favorite YouTube guys. How do you see Gabe Davis doing in this game? I think he goes off. I'm gonna let you jump on that before I jump on that, and then we'll wrap it up and go from there. What do you feel about Gabe Davis?
So here's the deal. I think that he's really proven himself, especially after this past playoff game. But I think when you see a player that's not quite at the same athletic level as a Stephon Diggs or a Cole Beasley, not quite like an automatic go-to guy. I think the reason Gabe Davis ended up going off last week was because the Colts were not preparing for this guy at all. Did not really consider him to be a target for Josh Allen. I think the Ravens are going to dial up let's say an antidote for him. I do see him making a few plays, but I do think it's all going to be a Stephon Diggs / Cole Beasley type game on Saturday.
You know what? I'm going to jump in on that too, because I think they're going to be focused solely on Stephon Diggs and how Stephon Diggs is just going to murder them up and down the field. I think we're going to take full advantage of Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters is extremely aggressive corner. So if we bait him, we're going to have to bait him and then okey doke and get him deep. It's possible because he's in a very aggressive corner. But Gabe Davis is coming into his own. I've been saying this all year long. When John Brown, especially when John Brown got hurt, this is an audition for Gabe Davis. And I think he nailed his audition. And to the point where he's getting more playing time, more acclimated with our quarterback, and we lighten the skies up with my guy. And he's just clutch. This is why we drafted him. So I'm looking very much forward to seeing what Gabe Davis is able to do. And I'm hoping that we get a healthy Cole Beasley, because Cole Beasley makes this offense that much more potent. And I'm so pleased by it. Caitlin, my girl Caitlin Blount says, hey, they have two weapons to guard down the field. One speed demon, Hollywood Brown, and one great tight end. Other than that, stop Lamar and the running backs, and we're golden. It's so much easier said than done, my girl Caitlin. It really is, because everybody would say that, hey, get up 10 points and make Lamar throw the ball. Lamar can sometimes kill you with his legs and not even have to throw the ball. So we just have to make sure that we contain his ass and not let him out of our grasp. We really need that. By the way, this is the Buffalo Fanatics. I'm joined by my guy Dan Mitchell doing his thing with the Dom Mafia. Listen, let the people know where they can find you, when your next show is, and let them know where they can catch you.
Yeah, man, for sure. You can find me at YouTube at Dan Mitchell. That's it right over there. And then I'm going to be on a couple of different live streams. I'm going to be on That's Good Sports podcast tomorrow. His name's Brandon Perna. He runs a really cool, like, the NFL show. Nice. And then I'm going to be having a Fan v Fan live stream. Rico, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to invite you on stream so you feel obligated to, but I'm bringing on 2 Ravens fans on my channel on Thursday. Would love for you to come on.
Who are they?
One's called Cold Raven. He's the man. Super funny. He's super funny. And then one is named Joe Nubo as well. 2 diehard Ravens fans. Should be a good damn time. Cool,
because I'm trying to get another guy by Ingrave Ravens. I believe his name is. We've been chatting back and forth, so I'm gonna try to get him on as well. So this is gonna be fun, man. This is a big week for the Bills against the Ravens, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to my guy Dan Mitchell with the Dom Mafia. A lot of you guys already know who he is, so that's why I brought him on. I figured it would be a treat for guys that do follow us and show us love. So, Dan, I appreciate you coming through, my G. And we'll link up again, and we'll try to go and whoop that ass when we talk to those guys and show them how to really do it.
Let's do it up.
All right, my man. Take care. That's my guy Dan Mitchell. If you guys enjoyed that little segment, show some love, man. Smash that like. Listen, it's about building networks with other Bills content, YouTube. Creators, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're nice like that, you're gonna get a chance to, chop it with your boy. Heisenberg White. That's a hell of a name, man. Do you think that we can get Trey White to get his hands on the Ravens playbook pages? Yo, maybe he can, man. Let that wind blow it our way. He gonna scan that real quick. I can guarantee you that. Ladies and gentlemen, we got one more special guest coming on. He's been on this thing before. Love this man's energy, and I'm glad that he's able to join us today. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring my guy on. I'm gonna let him come with his own introduction. You know what? Let me get my bell ready because that's my guy, Damon. What's up?
Ring the damn bell.
What's going on, big dog? You good?
Man, I'm chilling, man. How are you? Hey, look, I started off the day really good, man.
Let's finish that way.
I went to the grocery store and I took my cart back to the corral, man. Boom, winning.
You're winning already.
I'm winning, man. How you doing, already, bro?
Man? I'm good, man. We got to talk about this game, fam. Because we got a tough one coming up, man.
We do, but I think we can win. I'm pretty confident we can win.
Talk to me about it, because there's a few things that we got to talk about, because when I look at this Ravens, what they did to the Titans and what they've been doing the last few weeks, man, they are dialed in. They are really dialed in. And we are dialed in too. They almost tried to take the game away from us last week, but we came away and we prevailed. So when it comes to these Ravens coming to Buffalo, what is it that Josh Allen has to do and stay away from at the same time for us to get this dub and get out of Dodge and go play the Chiefs or whoever?
The first thing he cannot do is turn the ball over. Absolutely. Cannot turn the ball over. This is going to be a close game. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm jumping in and giving my guess already. It's going to be 23-20 Buffalo.
Damn.
It's going to be a close fight, nail-biting football game that we hate. And it is going to come down. Yeah, what's up, Ryan? I see you, bro. Look, I'm telling you right now, it's going to come down to a Tyler Bass field goal.
Damn.
And it's going to be a game. It's going to be a fight. We are going to have to punch them in the mouth. They are going to come out. But here's the thing. Here's what they're going to do that's going to be different than anybody else, what they've done to us. They're going to focus everything on Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley and John Brown. It's going to come down to Devin Singletary this week. Devin Singletary is going to have to step up, put his big boy pants on.
He hasn't stepped up all year.
Don't doubt him. Don't doubt him. Look it. You're bringing in. They did something perfect. Listen, I remember I told you this the last time I was on the podcast. The Buffalo Bills love Miami running backs. They love people from the Miami area.
Mhm.
Why? Because it's a camaraderie. It's a built thing.
Yeah,
They
I
have
remember
right
that. You
now.
said that.
Now they just brought in Devontae Freeman, another Miami dude who's been there, who's seen things, who can explain things a little bit better. Devin Singletary is not the problem, but he's going to be a problem for the Ravens this week. The Ravens are going to focus so much on trying to stop Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley. And I'm going to tell you what, they're going to have their hands full. Jimmy Smith's the animal in the slot.
Yep.
You have Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters, if he gets in your head, he wins.
And he will get in your head. That
He
boy
will get in your head. Yeah, he's going to play feisty. He's going to play feisty.
Man,
But it's gonna come down to the running game. And I'm telling you what, Devin Singletary carries us.
Devin Singletary. So okay, so let's stay on the running back position, because now we lost Zach Moss. Unfortunate, because I think Zach Moss in this game would have been solid, because he's that smash mouth type of running back that we need for a defense that we'll be facing. Now, when it comes to him being out, you had Antonio Williams that had a solid game against Miami in Week 17. Then we just signed Devontae Freeman, and then you got TJ Yeldon on the bench. What are we doing with these running backs? Who would you have as your hierarchy of bringing in? Because we've only had three running backs with Tywan Jones, but special teams. So it's been Devin and Moss. So Moss is out. Who you bring up, or do you bring up two? What are your thoughts?
Well, Yeldon's already on the roster, if I'm not mistaken. So he'll be there. I mean, he just won't be inactive.
But that's the thing. Are they going to activate him?
Yeah, I think so. I think they activate him and they call up two practice squad guys. I wouldn't be shocked if Antonio Williams does get the call over Devonta Freeman. And I say that because he knows the system. Running back, you have to know what you're doing. And I get it. I get he's a new guy and he was added and it was a depth signing. I think it was more of a confidence builder. Like, dude, you can do this. And I really do. I really think that when you come into it, he's going to be fine. He's going to end up running the ball well. And I'm telling you, don't be surprised when Devin Singletary goes for 100 yards this week.
Let me tell you something. If the best running back in the league and Derrick Henry went only for 40 yards, you think Devin Singletary is going to kill the game when he hasn't killed shit all year long? I can't understand.
Here's the thing, though, Rico. It's called game planning.
Okay.
What are they going to game? What did they game plan? What did we game plan for when we played Tennessee?
We wanted to stop Henry.
Did we stop him?
We certainly did. For what, 59 yards?
Whatever.
Yeah.
100, 200.
Yeah, exactly.
He stiff-armed a guy. That was his biggest highlight. And I ain't going to say who he's. That's my homeboy. But we're going to stay off of that. But I will say this. Look, at the end of the day, they're going to have to change up their scheme, and they're going to change up their scheme.
Yeah.
And they're going to focus on what? What are we the best at right now?
Airing the ball out, baby.
We're passing. We're airing it out.
Yep.
They're going to have to focus on the secondary and focus on how to stop the pass. And it's going to be Devin Singletary. The holes are going to open up, and we're going to have everything there. I'm telling you, think I'm crazy.
Listen, my girl Caitlin says, Rico, you're wrong, man. Stop sleeping on motor. Listen, the motor hasn't been revving. That's my problem. We haven't been revving the motor up. And the motor, it's like I'm not sure what it's been now. And I'm not going to say that I'm not a fan of the motor. I love the motor. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan. But our run blocking is what kind of concerns me, right? Listen, people are not going to feel very good about what I'm about to say, but listen, Mitch Morse, one of the best centers in the game, pass blocking. But when it comes to run blocking, that man is a liability. He keeps getting pushed back into the pocket. No wonder we can't get the run game going, because our center's not he's not that strong in the run game. So that's why I'm not that confident in our run game. But that's just me, though. That's just me. Now,
well, think about this. Think about this too. I don't want to cut you off, but think about this. Okay, they're gonna, if they scheme to shut down the passing defense, they're gonna have to play gaps. They're gonna have to play gaps on the defensive line. They're probably still gonna blitz, but it's not gonna be as much because he can beat you so far downfield.
Yeah,
they're gonna put people in the gaps. If they put people in the gaps, draws are gonna smash them because everyone's gonna be dropping back.
Okay, I see. I kind of like that aspect. Now, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's go to the defense.
Let's do it.
We got to defend Lamar Jackson, man. And Lamar Jackson, I mean, let's keep it a buck here. Lamar Jackson, Andrews, Hollywood Brown, Dobbins, and Gus Edwards and that O-line, yo, they're gonna run the ball down our throats, man. We are susceptible to the run. We don't.
But we're gonna do exactly what we listen. We're gonna do exactly what we did against Tennessee. You're gonna have to beat us throwing the ball. Listen, last year, let's go back to the Ravens game last year. How close was it?
It was close, man. It was one big play, and that got him that W. We kept it close.
We kept it close without Stephon Diggs.
Correct.
You know what the difference was, though? We had two meat eaters in the middle of the defensive line.
Yeah, man.
But we did something that nobody else was able to do to Lamar Jackson. We put a spy on him.
We contained him. Yep.
We were the first team that put Tremaine Edmonds, your only assignment is to spy him. What happened when Tennessee went to go play him in the playoffs? They used the exact same thing that Buffalo did, and they beat him in the playoffs.
That's what they did. So we're gonna have to do it.
You spy him one-on-one. Tremaine and Lamar one-on-one. You're gonna spy him. But here's the thing. Here's the great news. You ready for the great news?
Give it to me.
DJ Fluker couldn't even get on the damn plane. He's their starting tackle. He was so banged up. He's been getting injections all year. He's so banged up. They signed 2 practice squatters this week.
Fluker's not in the game.
Fluker's going to be in the game. He's going to try to fight through it. He's a liability. And if Fluker's going to be the liability, you got to send your heat at him. I'm telling you right now. Look, they signed Jordan Mills and another offensive line today. Jordan Mills. Yeah. Start him. Can we ring the bell? let me get that Jordan Mills. Are you kidding me? All right, well,
I'm listening, man. I'm listening. Now, hold on. Let's stay on the defense. Let's stay on the defensive side of the ball because Jack Doyle. I mean, I mentioned this earlier. Jack Doyle whether it's part of the game plan, we're not going to let T.Y. Hilton try to get all over us. So if anybody's going to beat us, it's going to be Jack Doyle. So we can't necessarily do that with Andrews because Andrews is a different beast. So that is something that concerns me. Middle of the field, Poyer. I love Poyer, but sometimes when a bigger tight end is in the game, man, he's a bit of a liability when it comes to that. So how do we offset a guy like Andrews? And who do we match him up with? If we're spying with Tremaine, let's just say Milano, then you open up to run. I mean, it's a challenge, man.
Here's the thing. You're going to probably end up playing 5 DBs. You're going to probably be in a nickel set when you come out with the 2 linebackers. Your one linebacker is going to be spying the entire time. So you're down to 1 linebacker playing. Your nickel's going to have to step up. He's going to have to cover a tight end at that point.
Yep.
But let's go and look at the stats. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I watched the game, and I'm willing to say this. Lamar Jackson, I think, had 170 yards passing the ball last week.
He did.
Around 170.
Yep.
He had 3 receivers that caught the damn ball. He had Patrick Ricard, a 350-pound fullback.
Shit. Okay. Yep.
Okay. That's Lee Smith.
Yep.
The ball. He's not going to burn you. You got Mark Andrews and you got Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown is his number 1. He's not throwing to Des Bryant. Willie Snead is like nowhere to be found anymore.
No, it's true.
They haven't thrown him the ball. Listen, you know who your liability? You Trey White, man on man, Hollywood Brown. You man him the whole damn game. Shut him down. You put your next. You take another corner. Maybe you put in maybe you got to put somebody like a Saron Neal. Maybe you put in a Taron Johnson.
Yep.
Your man and Mark Andrews with safety help. So you take out the 3 biggest players and then let the rest of the team just play football and stop the run.
X factor on offense, X factor on defense coming in this game.
For us,
yep.
X factor on offense, I already told you, is Devin Singletary.
Okay.
Period. Point blank.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive X factor, Tremaine Edmonds. He has to do his job. He has to spy him and shut him down. If not, we're going to get smoked.
Do we blitz a lot?
No, absolutely not.
Let him.
No need to. Let him run around. Give him time. Give him time and keep the spy on him. Make him beat you.
Boy, Damon is listen, I gotta ring this motherfucking bell because Damon is excited today, man. I like it. I needed the energy. That's why I'm glad that you came last. So when you look at this pivotal game, man, this is huge. We just got out of the first round for the first time in 25 mother effing years. It feels great. Lamar Jackson just changed the narrative, right? He's on this high path of like getting out of the first round. So right now, both these young quarterbacks, like I want to bring the stats, like when you look at the AFC in 2017, the 2018 draft, Baker, Lamar, Josh Allen.
All three.
Isn't that crazy?
Is awesome.
And you got in the 2017, you got Pat Mahomes on the other side.
Yep.
You go to the NFC, you got the old savvy vets, Rodgers, Brady, Breeze, and then you got Jared Goff or whoever's going to be playing over there, man. That is
he won't be there anyway.
Yo, when I look at the surging that's happening right now in the AFC and these young guys doing it, yo, it's exciting to see what's happening. And on top of that, you got Deshaun Watson that wants to get traded. Yo, are you hearing anything about that?
That ain't happening. It ain't happening.
You don't think it's gonna happen?
No, it ain't happening.
Did you see
There's no listen. They went from you haven't interviewed Eric Bieniemy to now they're interviewing Eric Bieniemy. That's what you do when you had a franchise quarterback. He ain't leaving. Listen, if he leaves, they're hit. They're already $17 million in the cap next year in the hole.
And they got no.
They ain't got no damn first or second.
Right.
You just go ahead and give him what the hell he wants. Eric Bieniemy might be the savior. Just give him it. That's what he wants. Give it to him. you got to keep him. I mean, at this point, he's your franchise quarterback. You paid him all that time.
Andre Johnson was like, "Yo, stand your ground. Don't even give in to that because I forgot he said some guy's name that's over there that's just doesn't
Jack
give a
Easterby. He's
yeah,
garbage.
that's that guy. That name."
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, stand your ground. Don't even go back to that. They don't give a damn. Just do it. And the rumor was that, and it makes sense if they trade with the Dolphins, they pretty much get their picks back and they get Tua. And then we'd have to face.
Listen, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Go ahead.
If Nick Caserio makes that trade, he should be fired.
You can't.
Fired.
Yeah.
God,
Deshaun Watson is special.
Come on, man. But
yeah,
Tua,
I get it.
Have you seen that guy? Listen, you know why Tua was great? Chan Gailey.
And Chan Gailey's gone.
And he's gone. Watch what happens next year. He's going to be bum. Watch. I'm telling you.
My goodness, man. I'm telling you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by my guy, Draft Diamonds. That's my guy, Damon, in the building. Hell of a Twitter feed that he's going, helping these young cats out. The business is about to be booming for you soon, man, because, I mean, college is done. You know what I'm saying? These young guys are getting ready to kind of get their things
draft
together.
Time.
Listen,
draft time is coming.
How different and how I guess I could say it, how hard is it or challenging is it going to be for combines and that with all this COVID stuff and getting the stuff out? Are you at an advantage or disadvantage now that you can't physically meet with these people and you helping these guys out?
Yeah, I think here's the thing, right? This year is going to be a clutter. You see, I can tell you this, guys that nobody's projecting to be drafted are going to be drafted because so many guys are opting back in to play football. The combine's not happening. I don't care what they say. They're going to have regional combines, but the combine is not happening in Indy. And this is what I've heard from everybody. I've heard that they're shutting it down. They're not going to do it. They're going to do regional combines. They're going to do by conference. So like the SEC will have their pro day. They'll have everybody in there that's SEC branded, and then they may have small school guys if they're invited only that can come to this. And it'll be televised on NFL Network, and it'll be like a combine, but it'll be more medicals and more history, like finding out the background. But as far as the combine goes, listen, I've been told from extremely high sources. You can go and look at my Twitter feed. It was 2 days before Adam Schefter came out. I'm telling you, I heard that it was getting shut down, and I stand on what I heard. So we'll see what that happens. But as far as the draft, listen, the draft is going to come off of your film. And a lot of these guys opted out. You opted out. A lot of guys opted out. That's going to kill them. Guys like Jamar Chase. Yeah, he's a great football player, but you opted out. So now a guy like Devontae Smith has just jumped him. A guy like Trey Lance from North Dakota State, who was rated as the second or third quarterback, now is talking about the fifth or sixth quarterback because he opted out. Them are going to kill players. So that opt-out thing is really going to hurt people. Going back to school might have been a good thing.
Yo, that's a great point because guys that did opt out, you had no film. They got to go from last year's film, and we don't know what shape you're in and what you've been up to. So
you could have been eating. You could be eating fat food all day and show up.
Absolutely, that's fact. You know? That's fact. So we're gonna a little bit stay on the draft a little bit. When you look at this team, and it's too early, but it's appropriate to talk about it. When going into the offseason, where do we need to rebuff and really kind of look at this position and say, yo, we need to draft for this position?
Tight end and guard.
Tight end and guard, I agree. Tight end for sure. Because
tight end is got to be. Listen, you can get a great player probably in the second or third round, But offensive guard is a problem for us. Ike Bodiger, whatever the hell, is not the answer. You got to go. Okay? Imagine a guy like Deontay Brown from Alabama. He hasn't allowed a sack in 3 freaking years, bro.
Unreal.
Like
So
that, I'll take him.
What are we doing with Cody Ford?
He can play tackle. He can play tackle.
Yo, you want to swing right back to tackle? We got Darrell Williams.
Hey, listen, man. Yeah, and I re-signed him. Cody Ford, step up your game or you're off the team.
Hey, that's real talk. That's real talk. I like that.
Hey, look, we're a playoff team now. We don't need you. You need us.
Oh, shit. Let's go. You need us. That's what I'm talking about, man. And let me tell you, this team is a damn good team, man. And teams and guys that are going into free agency are going to start looking at Buffalo. Like, yo, Buffalo's not looking like a bad place to go, man.
Think of this. Our last 2 signings were Kenny Stills, Devonta Freeman.
Yo.
To our practice squad, making $8,000 a week, bro.
Isn't that crazy? Okay.
Everybody going to want to play with Josh Allen.
Listen, that's facts, man. Okay, here let's stick on that. So, John Brown last week. John Brown didn't have his best outing. Maybe chalk it up to, you know what I mean? Like the moment was I don't want to say too big for him, but like it's just unlucky. We'll just chalk it up as unlucky. Gabe Davis is coming on heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So I see a lot of Diggs, Davis, Cole, John Brown phased out. You think he comes back next year?
I think he comes back this week.
Big?
He's gonna be another big factor this week.
Oh.
You playing your old team that didn't want to re-sign you?
Okay. I see.
You play a whole bunch of empty sets. You're gonna play me one-on-one against your third corner because you're gonna have Jimmy Smith covering Cole Beasley. You're gonna have Marlon Humphrey covering one-on-one against Diggs. You're going to give me Marcus Peters, or you might give me Marlon Humphrey. See ya. If you give me Marlon Humphrey, I'm beating you deep every time.
If I'm even, I'm leaving. I got it. Okay, yo, give me score prediction. What do you
23-20 Buffalo.
23-20. 23-20. That's a defensive matchup, man.
It is.
That's a defensive matchup. We just cannot turn the ball over. Josh's hero ball, you got to quit that, fam.
That's got to stop. Oh, that's why listen, man, he almost killed us last week. Darrell Williams
saved the day.
And then the refs, they rigged us, trying to cheat us out of it. Man, look, man, the NFL needs to be fired for that.
Fam, I don't know how you look at that game and not realize, like, listen, you're looking at the footage. Footage is there, knees up, ball still in hand, ball gets ripped out, game over. Let's call it a day. Jordan Poyer is the hero. And hey, look, he blocks me on Twitter. If you're listening, Jordan, you're wrong for blocking me. But hey, look, it is what it is. Everybody blocks legends. So, I mean, I just take it what it is. You know what I'm saying? Why do he block you for what?
I don't know. Hey, look, I don't know.
I'll never understand people that block people on Twitter, man. Yo, that's nonsense, man.
Yes,
maybe. Blocking them? I don't know. I never understood that. But anyway, if you are listening, yo, unblock my guy, man. Unblock my guy. He's only speaking facts and he's speaking truth, man. That's what it is, man. Ladies and gentlemen, my guy, Damon from Draft Diamonds. Listen, man. This game is a big game. We need this. 8:15. Josh Allen is the X factor for me. I need him to be everything. He needs to carry us this game like he carried us last game. And this defense is going to be something, man. So how do we attack this Ravens, man? Is it middle, Cole Beasley all day? Is it screenplays with Devin Singletary? We know
it's going to be plays. For me, I'm running draws. It'll be draw plays. Maybe on like a second down. Listen, I don't hold on. Let me jump into this real quick because Brian Dable made me mad as hell last week.
Talk about
all right. Some of the play calls that he made, 3 straight runs, and no, I mean, Dable was doing things that were upsetting the hell out of me, and I was like, is this guy really not trying to be the Jets head coach? Because he sure as hell was calling the game like he wasn't trying to get promoted. But I don't know how he got through it, but we did. That was Josh Allen and Gabe Davis. Dan, he didn't mention Gabe Davis, man. You had to give him the damn Manscaped game ball, bro. Them toe touch, man. Look, man, he made some huge plays. He made some monster plays.
I'm gonna tell you, Gabe Davis was definitely one of them. Darrell Williams was another for that save. Just save alone, saving the game. Yeah. That's my game ball. And on the defensive side, I got to give it to me. Like people not gonna want to talk about it, but to me, Milano Micah Hyde was big, but Milano to me stood out a lot too. But Micah Hyde, though, Micah
Hyde's bat down at the end was just like,
yes.
Damn,
we
learned.
He two-handed that, and he had a play where he was in coverage, and that could have been easy pitch and catch for T.Y. Hilton, and he batted that away with his backhand. So
hey, look, that was football gods. That was football gods, not Micah Hyde, because he wasn't even looking. He just like
he wasn't. He was not looking. That's real, man. That's real. I gotta give a shout out to my guy. David Simon says, 3 bad calls on us this year. Interception against the Rams, John Brown on the TD against the Raiders, and then that fumble, man. They almost killed us on that fumble. By the way, I gotta apologize to everybody. The chat for some reason is up and down. Sometimes it'll load up, sometimes it won't. So if you're chatting, sometimes it freezes. The last comment was sent to me by Michael Cab when he's talking about Tyler Bass being the guy that's going to be kicking field goals for us. Now, here's the deal. Before I let you go, you were talking about 23-20. So that tells me, is it a Tyler Bass game-ending field goal that gets us that win? Are we putting it on the rookie?
Yeah, I think it's 20-20 going into the fourth quarter.
Oh,
I think
boy.
Josh Allen, I think we get a pick. I think we get a tipped pass pick. And Tyler Bass from 53 in Buffalo for the win.
Yo, you like to make shit hard, huh? God,
I do,
man.
Hey, look, listen. This is where you find out what type of football team you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right here, playoff football. Everybody on that damn TV, ESPN, NFL Network is writing you off. They're sitting there turning on the TV and they're going, Lamar Jackson finally got over the hump. They forgot about you. A week ago, it was Josh Allen finally got over the hump. Now everyone's talking about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's first thing that he said in his little press conference was, I finally got over it. I finally did this. I finally did this. Yep. Listen, that I shit is going to shut him down this week.
I hope it does.
You can't be a me football player. This is a team game. Big Buffalo.
I will tell you this, though. I was on a podcast with my guys, Brock and Pep from the Unconventional Podcast, right? And on Sportsman Convo, excuse me. And my man Pep said, he's like, you're going to learn a lot about your Bills team this week. You're going to learn a lot because you're going to be pushed to the limit offensively, pushed to the limit defensively. You're going to learn a lot. Either you're going to see this is the team that's supposed to take us to the Super Bowl, or fuck, how the hell do we deal? Like, how do we let this happen? And why is this guy's been a liability all year and we got exposed, but we're going to learn one way or another of how this team is going to play this year. Man, I'm excited about this game, man. I wouldn't say I'm scared because I'm not, because I think we match up. It's going to be a tough matchup for them. Third downs, we kill it on third downs. They're going to have to. The question was, how do we keep these guys off of the field third down? Because they're going to press it. Third down and short, they're going for it. Fourth down and 2, fourth down and 3, they're going for it. Guess what? We're almost 50% on third downs as well. So how are they going to stop us from getting those third downs? We just need everybody healthy.
Yeah, man. When I watched the Steelers game playing the Browns, I'm not going to lie, I was so rooting for the Browns. I did not want to face the Steelers. I know everybody was like, everybody wanted the Steelers. I didn't want them again.
Why?
Yeah, man. Mike Tomlin scares me. He's one of them off and on coaches that if he gets 2 chances at you, he's very good. He knows what he's doing. He makes the right adjustments. He made some piss poor calls in that Cleveland game with the punts. But listen, I was nervous about playing them. You got to remember something too, though. John Harbaugh and McDermott both come from the same tree. They come from an Andy Reid tree.
Yeah.
All right. One of them's offensive, special teams minded. One of them is more defensive minded.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, Buffalo has to win 2 phases. Special teams is one of them. We have to stop them on special teams. They haven't really had that breakthrough player. They have they had the kid from Texas, Duvernay. I think that was returning punts for a little bit. Yeah, but he's not like Andre Roberts.
He's not.
Our opportunity to win the special teams phase is there. I'm gonna go out and predict this too. I predict that the Buffalo Bills block a punt this week. I think AJ Epinesa gets a blocked punt this week.
Or Reggie Gilliam.
He's been coming so close to blocking a punt in the last couple weeks. And he's the only one I feel like goes all out on a punt block. And I think this week with the game on the line, I think he's going to be hauling ass. And I'm calling him out. He's a rookie. you're getting this close. If you're listening, get your ass this much closer and get the block punt, because I'm calling you out because I think he can do it.
One more thing before we get out of here. Two more things, but one more thing. You said it's going to be two faces that's going to win this game.
Yeah.
I feel like Roberts is pressing sometimes too hard because he put us in some uncomfortable positions starting in our end. Give us that 25 yards, man. Just chill. If it's a blatant kick that you can take out, take it. But like, don't just take it out. And I think that killed us a lot, and that killed our momentum because all year round,
I don't
really, because I feel all year round he's been giving us that, but not pressing. It was just coming natural. Last game, he put us in some positions where we had to really dig ourselves out.
But here's the thing, though. Andre Roberts, every time he touches the ball, you either have he's coming, and you're getting past the 50,
100%,
or you're getting the 13 or 15-yard punt return. Or return, period. Not punt, just kickoff.
That's right.
Listen, don't stop what you're doing. If you think you can take it, listen, he's watched the film, not me and you. Yeah. I like special teams. That's what I do.
Yep.
If you see that the gaps or their integrity is not good, or you see that there's a hole that's potentially there, take the damn kick. I don't care if we only get 12 yards because the potential's there for him to go to 100. So I'm going to take, for me, he's a Pro Bowler. He's not a Pro Bowler 1 year. He's a Pro Bowler multiple years. This is what he does.
I love it.
If he sees something in the film that Heath Farrell's not complaining, and he's our special teams coordinator.
Yeah.
If he's not complaining, we shouldn't be complaining.
I like that. I'll take that right now. Last thing for me, man, and this is more of a personal thing. I want to congratulate you. Big promotion.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know. Big
time,
promotion at work, man. Yo, congratulations. That's
Appreciate
big. It looks like it's been something in the works, and you finally over the hump, man. So yo,
man, I've been doing the job for 4 years, bro. Finally getting paid now.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
Man. Oh,
get your money right.
Get your monies, man.
Bell.
Get your monies, man. I like that, man. Yo. So, ladies and gentlemen, my guy Draft Diamonds, Damon, always coming through with that fire, always coming through with a different angle to look at things, right? For those that were worried about this game, Dame kind of, calmed y'all down. I mean, I still have my reservations because I'm a big fan of Lamar Jackson. I'm a big fan. I wanted Lamar Jackson as our quarterback before we even went with Josh, but I can't be happy enough that we got Josh. And both quarterbacks are doing their thing, man. So I'm looking for the one that's throwing the rock in the air. That's my guy, Josh Allen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's our time. I got my guy, Dame. Dame, any last things you want to push out to the people so they know what's good, where they can find you, all that good stuff?
Well, you can see I'm at Draft Diamonds, and I'm Draft Diamonds everything. But I will say this, man. Last week, I started opening up my Twitter account for my own personal. I've never really used it. Damon, it's at Damon Talbot. Listen, man, I want Bills fans on my feed. So follow me. I'm going to follow you back because I want to flood it with Bills stuff. Because I'm so sick of hearing all this nasty crap in the news that I need some positive Buffalo in my life. And so make sure y'all feed me all the info you can. I'll retweet it.
I'm gonna put your thing up right now. What is it? So it's
Damon, Damond, and then Talbot, Talbot.
No underscore, no nothing.
No, just straight across.
So folks, this is what it is, man. Yo, follow my guy Damon Talbot. That's it. That's all. Give him. He wants Buffalo feed. Give it to him. He doesn't want all that negativity crap. I don't deal with that either, man. I don't like any of that negativity crap. Yo, get off my feet with that. So follow.
But you don't have to worry because I don't block you, unlike Poyer. Hello, Poyer.
Yo, there's a whole bunch of clowns out there blocking. You're too sensitive. Boom, block. Come on, man. Get out of here with that. You're a grown ass man. Anyway, it is right. So, folks, that's my guy Draft Diamond. My guy Damon. Give him a follow. Dame, we're gonna do it again soon, my man. I'm hoping that
we going to the Super Bowl.
God damn, I love it, man. We're going to the damn Super Bowl and we're gonna chop it up again. My guy Dame, we're gonna
come back. We're gonna come back next week when we play the Browns.
Oh,
yeah. We coming back. We're gonna talk Browns Bills.
Let me tell you something. I picked the Browns to beat the Chiefs.
I did too.
Oh, and the thing is, I have reason to do it because that run game is actually pretty damn potent that they got, and they catch out of the backfield. And then if
they can control the time of possession.
Yes. And
time of possession.
And the Chiefs haven't been the Chiefs the last month, and he hasn't. They haven't played in 2 weeks. Starting quarterback hasn't played in 2 weeks. So there might be a little bit of rust coming. So maybe the Browns do it.
And then you got Sammy Watkins talking trash. Let's go, Cleveland. Get up.
Boy, Sammy Watkins been a bum. Anyway, it is what it is.
But you can't talk if you can't back it up.
Absolutely. I'm talking about
Juju.
Chiefs down, Browns, Bills, AFC Championship. Yo, it's going down. It's going down.
Rico report. That's a special. We're bringing on Browns fans.
Yo, why not, man?
I'm coming in, and we're just going to dog each other the whole hour.
Let's do it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, Draft Diamond. We'll talk soon, my G.
Take care, bro.
All right. Yo, man. Hell of a show. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I kind of like, you guys will notice that I'll bring on people that I jive with, and there's good banter. There's been steady 700 to 800 people viewing from Facebook and YouTube. Much appreciated. Much love. If you guys love that type of content, different perspectives coming from different people, why not, man? Show that love. Smash that like. I was gonna try to do a fan session tonight and try to get some fan interacting, but it's 9:30, so we're gonna save that for a Friday show. So folks, this is it for me. You guys have been fantastic. This is a big game coming, and I'm telling you right now, I don't know what's going on with the chat. The chat has been bugging all night and has been bugging all week. It even happened to my guys Tilton and Steve. So I mean, it is what it is. We're gonna try to fix that. I'm gonna send an email to these cats and say, "Yo, fix that shit." But yeah, man, if you guys like that type of content, by all means, let's do it. That was my guy Damon that just came on. I had my guy Dan Mitchell, and then Matt Parrino was at the top of the hour. So I think we flamed out, man. I think we gave you some good Bills content, good things to talk about. We talked about the run game. We talked about the defense, what we need to do. We talked about Lamar. We talked about last game against the Colts. I mean, this was a fun show. It was a full slated show. So folks, tune in on Friday. I'm back at it again on Friday. Tomorrow, you're going to have my guy Joe Miller on the hump day. He's going to be bringing it with my guy Clay. And then back at it again on Thursday is going to be Tilt Money and Steve, the judge. And we're gonna go from there. So folks, you guys have yourself a great night. I gotta get ready for this work because I gotta do that night shift. You guys know what it is. So folks, enjoy the rest of the night. And we're gonna try to get this chat worked out. So until next time, it's your boy. And I'm gone. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Buffalo Fanatics proudly brings to you. Oh, I don't want to do my wrestling bag, but y'all know what it is.